don't like is the COVID test. The one with the nose. You know, here's the funny thing. I did it, but I got the blood. I didn't trust. Listen, let me explain something to you. You don't want to put a cotton swab in my nose, dog.
Why? What happened?
I got angel dust, coke, THC crystal, animal tranquilizer, whole dust, pubic hair. I smelled Newark in the summer. What haven't I smelled? Coke, heroin. Are you kidding me? When they did my dust, I remember whole dust. You ever open up a little bit of dust comes out. Nobody knows nothing. You just take it like a man. I remember when I woke up, Dr. Line was jizzling my nose, and the sparks were coming out of my nose and shit. I still got coke rocks in those glands in there. So you stick a cotton swab in there, and they're gonna it up because you know they're making a mistake. Some grandmother's gonna go, you didn't test positive for COVID, but you need treatment. You need help. You got like 10 kilos in your nose. Who would go for that stupid test and wait online and sit for 10 hours with 80,000 people? It's like, you ever thought about this? We've never discussed this. This young generation don't know. And I did the research. When I was growing up in the 70s, you got a thermometer in your. They used to put a thermometer in your. Think of the result of what that did to people. If we go backwards, we're going to see how many people are gay because for years they were getting a thermometer put in their. By the time they're 16, what difference does it make? You been putting a thermometer my times.
I don't think that's how it works.
The thermometer, it was the creepiest thing, people, okay? Went to a doctor, he'd tell you to bend over. Like, you'd be burning up. You'd have one of those COVID fevers. He'd tell you to bend over. He'd dip the thermometer in Vaseline, and he'd stick it in your like a minute. And you had to sit there with a thermometer in your and look at him, like make eye contact and talk to him. Then he would take it out, wipe it, and then go like look real close. Tell you you're 91.1. You don't remember a thermometer in the Rogan? I remember. You could tell maybe he could mingle on the other side. You could talk him into switching governments if
He's
you
got
had
a
to.
kid and a dog.
I know a lot of dudes like that that you look at and you go,
living
something
a
ain't
lie.
right. This guy
Every
could
guy
suck
out there with a kid who's walking his dog is like, am I gay?
No.
Do I want to?
Maybe you have evil fantasies like Rob Halford in Hellbent for Leather. You know that song?
Rob Halford's whole
evil fantasy.
But he was gay as.
No, I'm not saying that. I love Bob Halford. I love Rob
I do
Halford.
too.
I'm just saying that
You got another thing coming.
there's a lot of guys, dog, that you see, that you know. Maybe their dad's still alive and he was a Marine. You can't go home.
What does that mean?
You can't go home and tell your dad who was a general, I want to suck.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Joe Rogan, you're an intelligent. How many guys do you think are out there right now? We've had this discussion
Millions.
that are married, whatever, but every once in a while they put a feather suit on and they go dance like in anything. And that's what we used to, we used to go down there. We were dumb kids. We figured out we could rob these dudes that were drunk. They come down to get their sucked. So we bait him. We got the captain of police's son, so we weren't going to go to jail. He was better looking than you. We weren't going to go to jail. We put him out there. We put like a Guinea T-shirt, those wife beaters, with a little gold chain with a cross.
The ultimate card thief.
And we put him out there on
That's
Boulevard
hilarious.
East, and then we'd hide in the trees. And then he'd go, I'll suck it. The guy would park, and then he'd walk him back. And right before I went to get that one knee, I come up with that straight right kick, John Jones to the.
God damn,
You
Joey.
go down. We're in the trees. We're hiding in the trees. We fly down from the trees, and we just bam, bam, bam. We take your money. We run. We're 16 guys. Nobody knows what's right. And you got to remember, my crew was the third crew on. There was a crew from 64th Street. They were not only robbing you, they were taking you to your house. I had friends that were in high school that actually were setting you up. Yeah, let's suck you. And then they put you back in your car and go to your house and rob you. We were the light crew. We were just going down there peppering you with a few shots and running away with you.
Nobody getting the.
My point about the story was there was one time where
I got beat up. I went down there by myself.
You went there, you went
down there by myself. I had the Knicks minus the 8.5, and I only won by 8. So I got caught by the hook. And I called my buddy, and I go, dog, we lost. He goes, I'm with my girlfriend. But at the time, I was yeah-yoing it up. I'm hanging out with my buddies. We're hitting the bag. I go down there. I go down there, dog. I'm from Jersey. They ain't gonna do nothing to me. This dude lit me up. It could have been Nunez's uncle.
to believe, right?
That's the best part of comedy. I don't give a anybody tells you. Standing ovations, selling tickets. The part of comedy you're going to remember is when you were with Brody Stevens in a car with Josh Wolf. And I got Brody in the back tied up in the back in the Volvo and I'm doing 100 with his car and he's yelling, "Stop it. Normal people do not live like this." Every time I see Brody, I give him a hug.
Well, he's not going to come back and fight for a world title right away.
But he ain't
you
gonna
don't think
come
so?
back, bro.
No.
That was the biggest embarrassment of the
That would
year.
be crazy
That was
for
the
them.
biggest embarrassment of the year.
Why would that be?
Embarrassment, bro.
What was embarrassing?
Just embarrassing him against Mark Hunt. They knew he was on the juice. He went in there loaded to the gills. It was just an embarrassing thing. It was an embarrassing thing for everybody. And Mark Hunt had every right to be mad. They put him in there with a guy that's coming off rocket fuel. That dude just don't eat D-ball. Look at the size of his head. He's taking shit that makes your head grow. Okay? That's what they get the on the way home, we got on the bus. And while we were waiting there, my stomach started hurting. And I said, Jesus Christ, I don't know if I'm going to shit myself or fart, but let me just take a chance. And I blew this fart, Joe Rogan. That was so bad. We were on a bus, and people started running, you know, the school buses? People started running to the windows to swing down the bus windows. But here's what gets better. I farted again. And the teachers were going, "Oh, my God, he's changing flavors." But the worst thing was the cheerleaders were crying. That's how bad it smelled. They were sitting in front of the bus going,
Wait a minute. He's changing flavor.
One of the teachers yelled out, "Oh, my God, he's changing flavors." That's how bad these farts were. Kid, I was so sick.
She got you in a headlock and shot you up penicillin.
Listen to me.
Where'd the needle go?
Listen to me.
Top of his head?
Cubans, I had a Cuban doctor, Dr. Lando Del Valle. He made house calls, okay? He came over. And this is very funny because I'm going to tell you how hysterical heretics is. Hereditary shit is crazy. Your kids get what you got. Now, he would come over. Now, Dr. Del Valle did a bump from time to time. Now, this is I'm talking about 1968, 69. Please, this goes on. I had a zip-up jacket, and I had to weigh 380. So I walked in. I go, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my pants off. Dog, I walk in, and what do you think these two ladies say to me? "Hold on 1 second. We'll be with you in a minute." So they turn around. That's my cue. I took those sweatpants off. I took the shoes off and my socks, and I walked closer, and I took my shirt off. When they turned back around, all I had was boxer shorts on, like the tidy whities. That's it. Tits hanging out, stomach hanging over the underwear. And they did. As soon as they turned around, they were like, "Oh my God!" They're like, "That is terrible. Put your shirt back on." I'm like, "I'm not putting on shit. All right, I'm reading this." How it is. So you were supposed to like wave and say good morning, and they're like, action, and they're like, can't even look at me because I'm completely naked, and I'm making believe I'm flipping burgers, and I look over at them and I go, "Living like a doctor." That's it. They booked me. When I got to the audition, that was the read. Living like a doctor. I bumped into him in '94. I kidnapped him in '87. I bumped into him in '94 and I bought coke from him. 6 years later, I saw him at a bar on Pearl Street.
Did you even say, "I'm sorry I kidnapped you"?
Not that night. I just gave him a hug and asked him if he knew where I'd get some blow and shit.
Not that night.
And he gave me a hug, and I always thought about him. And when I apologized, I felt really bad. And I talked to him the other day, and he started telling me he's 50. He lives with his mother. He had a heart attack. You know, I could tell when I talked to him and in his pictures on Facebook that he had a stroke. And sometimes I feel real guilty that I do this. But then, you know, I'm the type of guy, I don't play that shit. You know, I don't play that shit at all. He up when I kidnapped him. I mean, a couple weeks before, you know, how this whole thing started was because he went to Boulder Hospital, and when he was in there, he was hurt. They left him in a room by himself, and he stole a bottle of liquid cocaine and jumped out the window. Okay, and they caught him an hour later on the other side of Boulder. When you steal a bottle of liquid cocaine from the hospital, you already got problems. Friday, I went to the store, and I swear to God, guys, I didn't eat nothing all day. I had smoked some pot. I worked out. I had the chest and the other thing. I smoked dope. Before I left the house, there was a little brownie, a 70-milligram brownie. I had like maybe 13 carbs left for the day. I was starving. It was a half a pack of an Anarchy edible. They give you 2 brownies. Each brownie is 70 milligrams. I rub my balls with 70 milligrams. You understand me? 70 milligrams for Uncle Joey is like an appetizer. It's like an aperitif. It's not even a
Explain
appetizer.
to the rest of the world, 70 milligrams will put you into a hole.
Do you know I gave Lee 500 last night? He puked.
500?
We split
Jesus Christ.
We
Oh, my
split
God.
1,000-milligram edible.
Did you hear the Alice in Chains song, "Down in a Hole"?
Oh, my God. Listen to me, Doug. We split it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. By 7 o'clock, I was so by 8 o'clock. And you know what? Usually when you eat, you tame that animal. No, this turned on me. This edible turned on me, dog, like a savage. He beat me into submissions. At one point, I had the cheese doodles that belongs to the baby pirate's booty. They were on the floor. They were just coming out of my face. I was just stuffing them. I was just stuffing pirate's booty in my face and a pear. I couldn't stop. I kept eating peaches and pirate's booty, pears and pirate's booty, cantaloupe and pirate's booty. I must have ate the whole. Even my wife was like, because I had my back turned to them so they couldn't see me. My wife's like, what the are you doing in here? Listen, I got to go to bed. She goes, go to bed already. I went to bed at 8:45. I slept till 4. I got up. I didn't know where I was. I just lay there for 30 minutes like Mad Max. I just laid there all confused.
So you woke up at 4 in the morning, you didn't know where you were?
Solo. At 4:30, I woke up with a ton of energy. I went in the shower. I washed the car. I went for breakfast. Oh, my God. I was up, and I kept calling Lee and saying, Lee, if the cops call you, don't answer the phone. He goes, why are the cops going to call me? I go, I don't know. But the favorite game that I ever bet in my life, you were a kid, but one of the biggest games I ever bet in high school. I put everything I had. I borrowed money. I bet money I didn't have. Dallas Cowboys played the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC and division finals. The 49ers were 16-1. I know that there's a lot of people that are football people out there, and you're like, Joey, you're wrong. Maybe they lost one game. Who did San Francisco lose to when Snowy Joey was throwing every year? New Orleans would always beat the out of them at home or away. When San Francisco was on the top of their game, they could not beat the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints beat them. They go into the NFC playoff with the Cowboys. Guess what? I'm at a bar doing blow. I'm 18 years old, and it dawned on me at this bar. I go, wait a second. What you mean to tell me is that the Dallas Cowboys are going into Candlestick, and they're going to try to tell Snowy Joey and those savages a story.
Joey.
That's when they had that nickel defense with Ron Lott, who his finger was broken, and they
Pinky,
asked him at
cut it off,
and he
son.
cut it off.
Yeah.
You're dealing with people who would cut off their pinkies. Are you Japanese?
I'm Korean.
Okay, Japanese people, they cut their pinkies off. Like when they up, you up. You
Dishonored.
Dishonor. They cut their pinky off. A brother cut his pinky off during a game, and you're going to look me in the face and tell me that the Dallas Cowboys are going to go into their field and beat them by 1. And I remember there was a kid who hated me. He's dead now, Anthony Kruger.
He died?
Yeah, he accused me of robbing his house, an 8-ball from his house. I never robbed him. I don't get
Dead, bro.
He's dead. Let him roast in hell for selling blow. So he was a big Cowboy fan. He kept trying to, he was a tough kid. And he kept going, what if the Cowboys win? Can I beat the out of you? And this kid it's like Brent saying this to me, and I go,
Want to beat you up?
oh, he hated me, but he couldn't touch me because I had juice behind me in those days. He couldn't just come and throw a beating on me because he had 16 behind. So I said to him, let me ask you, this is how up I was. I go, let me ask you this. What if San Francisco beats them? Can I come to your house and punch you in the face? That's how ballsy I was that night. Because right there it dawned on me that San Francisco was going to beat the Cowboys at home. They were not going to go in there and cover 1. And what happened that game? It's the most famous catch in football.
Yeah.
Dwight Clark reached out, and I had the over.
cat.
And I had the over in
What's up,
Dallas.
son?
What's up, son?
So then you go punch that dude in the face?
Oh, no, I didn't see him after that.
Oh,
for a
you
long